All right, my beautiful friends. Before I even get started, I need to remind you to never forget that you, me, all of us, we are surrounded in what? Little puffs of loveliness. Seriously. So no matter what happens, we're okay. And that's the truth. I have a lot of stuff to cover here in this post-market wrap-up video. Monday, February 3rd, 2020. So now that we got the little puffs of loveliness out of the way, remember, you never hold on to them. You can grab them, but you always release them. You free them. They're always supposed to be free. This market was insane. The high for the Dow Jones Industrial Average today was 374 points. The Dow Jones Industrial Average did put on a gain of about 140 points. That's significant, and we all know why. Yeah, crude oil got destroyed today. Absolutely destroyed. Let me talk about that real quick. Most of you know I have been long crude oil. I took a hit recently with regard to crude oil, then I switched to a net short position. I was able to pull out a break-even trade. Am I happy about that? No. Because if I were smarter, and listened to my own boom system right on my website, traderschoice.net, what can I tell you? The boom system said to sell. Did I listen to it? No. Why? You tell me why. I wish I knew why. So again, that's all I have to say with regard to crude oil here. It's a culling on a grand scale. Now, how many of you are paying attention to CNBC? They had some guy out there. He's saying, oh, the reason why silver and gold are selling off, this is the coronavirus too. People aren't buying gold and silver, so gold and silver are going down because of the coronavirus. How about this one? This is soon to be blamed on the coronavirus too. So it's no secret, the phase one deal, the best deal ever on the face of the earth, it was so great and so monumental for both China and the U.S. that Xi didn't even show up. You remember that? President Trump was there by himself holding up all the nice things that he just signed. Well, China has already reneged on their part of the bargain to buy more U.S. agriculture. And now the worry is China's just not going to buy it because of the coronavirus. Yeah, but I'll tell you what China is prepared to do and what the Federal Reserve is going to do as well. China is ready to pump vast amounts of capital into their market to keep it propped up. And the same thing here in the United States with regard to the Federal Reserve. People, mark my words right here and right now, despite the rhetoric out of the mouth of Yellowstone, a rate cut is coming. There is no way to sustain where we are. It's completely fake. It's rigged. It's a communist market with no bearing on reality, no price discovery mechanism whatsoever. And the debt market is being pumped and pumped and pumped every day by a runaway Federal Reserve who is issuing in their final solution to issue more debt, to create slaves on an epic scale, to be the lender and buyer of last resort. There are some imbecilic YouTube channels out here who are pushing the narrative, laughable, that the Federal Reserve is losing control. They're losing control. You see, when you hear that narrative come out of a YouTuber's mouth, you know you're listening to an imbecile. The Federal Reserve is not losing control. This has been their plan for multiple decades, to be the lenders and buyers of last resort, to issue epic sums of debt, to create nation slaves, individual slaves, and a worldwide global situation of zombie slaves. The Fed is not losing control. This is exactly their plan. So again, to the imbecilic YouTube channels pushing that narrative, maybe you got to get with the program and stop misleading people on a grand scale, because that's what's happening here. The Fed is in full control. The Fed has been primed for this exact scenario, which they've engineered up and down in this market, deliberately inflating and deflating bubbles multiple times. But this one is the mother of them all. A complete wipeout of the middle class has been underway for quite a long time. When you have a sitting president, currently Donald Trump, calling for negative rates, who has yet to explain to the American people how this will help them, you know that there is a nice pump going on between the president and the Fed. Oh yeah, that's exactly what's going on. But the charade is they're on opposite sides. No, they're working towards the same goal. Issue more debt, enslave the American people on an epic scale. And it won't change, believe me, with one of these Democratic idiots either. We're done. I know you know that already. It don't matter who sits behind the resolute desk. It could be a thing, inanimate object, a chapstick, a World Series of Poker pen, a notepad. Don't matter. These are trades that I did today. Let me go over that real quick. So Friday, prior to the market close, I opened up long calls on SPY. Yeah, I did. I figured this market would more than likely rebound today. I explained those positions this morning when I did my video from this morning. I did hold SPY almost to the high of the day, closed that with a nice profit. I held Merck. I had calls on Merck as well. Closed those with a nice profit. I entered 4 other trades today, 3 of which were profitable. So me, I'm a happy guy. I didn't do too bad today. And for my lions out here, lions, you know how much I love you. My lionesses, and my cubs, you know how much I love my cubs. Have that number in your head, that goal. When you sit in front of your trading platform, have a number in your head. This is a target I want to hit today. And I promise you, if you do this, invariably, if you don't do something stupid like me and bet against your own system, the boom system, more than likely you will pull out a profit close to your goal. Is it going to happen all the time? No. But most of the times, absolutely this will happen. Maintain a positive attitude. And again, don't go against the boom system. Right on my lovely website, free for you. It's not for me. Obviously, I should pay more attention to it. Maybe I will now. Anyway, look, we all go off our little, path once in a while. You're on your lovely little pathway, and you're moving forward, and you're all happy, and everything is going just great. And then all of a sudden, you know you should stay on the path, but you go the other way. You go, and then you get pulled back, and you realize you made a big mistake. Yeah, well, that's what happened to me too. Look, no one's perfect. Anyone who claims to be perfect is probably the least perfect of them all. You know that. Anyway, so the story today with this market, from a Dow Jones Industrial Average high of 374, crude falling off a cliff, Dow only puts on 141. Clearly, crude oil weighing on this market. Oh, but gold and silver is selling off because people aren't buying gold and silver now because of the virus. Oh, and China's not keeping their end of the bargain with regard to phase 1 deal, which never happened because it's unenforceable. That charade, the con job played on not just the people of America, the people of the world. Oh, China's just not going to be buying the stuff they promised because of the virus. This is some epic virus, It's incredible, isn't it? It truly is. Cryptocurrencies got hit a little bit today. No big deal. I guess they sold off today too because of the virus. Must be the virus. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think that, look, here's the situation with this dog shit virus. I'm not saying it's not a big deal, and unfortunately, some people have died, 300 something. I don't even know what the number is now. Well short of the over 8,000 from the flu. But again, they gotta make you afraid of something. Fear. They must find another reason to borrow cash into existence, flood the markets with more debt. This is what the Central Bank of China is going to do. The Federal Reserve is going to follow suit. It's another excuse to inflate. That's what this is all is, people. And I know you're hip to it. I know you're wise to it. Maybe that's why stocks gained a little bit today. Now look, let's talk about the correlation here between crude and these markets. There are some who believe they move directly in tandem. So when Greg says that if crude goes lower, stocks are going to go lower, that's what they believe is going to happen. No, I never said they move in tandem. What I said is look at the longer term trends. You got to be brain dead not to be able to see that there is a direct correlation between crude and the markets. You want to argue with me? Good luck, okay? Do your own research first. Make a nice graph of it and show it to everyone where Greg was wrong. I bet you can't do it. No, because there is a direct correlation. And anybody who understands the importance of crude oil in these markets, the energy sector and the financial sector, I mean, it's a no-brainer, okay? But there are some that got to find a reason to say, oh, Greg was wrong about something. Duh. Meanwhile, they never say, oh, well, Greg got this right and that right and that right and this right. It's kind of scary. Yeah, I'm not always right. Obviously, I missed crude. I missed it even though it was in my face. But that happens from time to time. All right, people, look, let's watch this market over the next day or two. Let's see where crude goes. Let's watch the stock market because there is a correlation here. If crude continues to drop, stocks will suffer. If we had a sell-off, like I said today, honestly, this was not a good day for the stock market. From a Dow Jones Industrial Average high of 374 to only a closing high of 140 points higher. That's not good. To me, this could be a bad sign for this market, and I'll be ready to short it. I will be ready to short it. I'm still not short this market at this particular time. I'm trading the market like my lions are, taking advantage of these moves, but, there is going to be a time where we're going to literally have to take bales of our Benjamin Franklins and throw them at this market on the short side. But that time is not just yet, okay? If crude continues to fall, stocks will follow. But again, what do we know is about to happen? We're going to get a massive wave of debt thrown at this market by China, by the Federal Reserve, who's pumping tens upon tens upon tens of billions of dollars every day into the debt market. But it's just temporary. You know it's just temporary because the Fed is saying that it's temporary and everything they say is true. Because, you see, they're losing control. Duh. They're not losing control of a damn thing. They're issuing in their final solution. This is what they've wanted to do for multiple decades. And the people outside my lovely window, the zombies, who have no idea of who they are, where they are, what they're doing, or why they're doing it, they're going to buy the dog shit from the mainstream media that's fist-fed to them every single day because they don't know any better. They cannot think outside the box. And why? Because they've been dumbed down. And they will continue to be dumbed down, not just by the mainstream media, but by YouTube channels that are going to tell you that the Fed is losing control. Really? Oh, okay. No. They're not losing control. They know exactly what they're doing, when they're doing it. This is an incredible effort to create a world of slaves. Period. That's it. All right, look, before I let you go, usually on the first of every month, I ask for your help and your support directly. Well, it happens to be the third. But I'm going to ask for your help again. If you believe that Greg is doing a good job, if you believe that, Greg's work should be supported, I'm going to ask for your support. Last month, 68 of you stood up and supported my work. You know what? 68 of you, that's a good number to me. I know some people think it's a joke, but it's not. 68 people stood up and directly supported my blog, my work, And I want to give a special shout out and even more little puss of loveliness to that 68 of you. So again, if you feel like joining the 68 from last month who supported my work, there is a link in the description of this video. And I would be very thankful if you would support my work. With that said, I will see all of you tomorrow morning. Love you a lot.